Sexto Foro Económico Español, el que estamos desarrollando durante toda la semana en este Palacio de Linares de Madrid, en el que estamos hablando de crecimiento, de cohesión, de incertidumbre y en el que estamos muy focalizados no solamente en la situación económica española, sino también en la situación geopolítica y también de lo que está ocurriendo, sobre todo en Europa, porque creemos que Europa o es o no será. Y por lo tanto, estamos muy centrados en focalizarnos en todo lo que debe hacer la Unión Europea para conseguir salir adelante en este nuevo contexto geopolítico. De ahí el que este año no solamente estemos hablando de Wake Up Spain, sino también de Wake Up Europe. Como digo, última jornada en la que vamos a hablar de multitud de temas. Tenemos también una agenda bastante cargadita en esta última jornada en la que vamos a hablar especialmente de empleo, en la que vamos a hablar de empleabilidad. Y tendremos tiempo también para hablar del sector financiero. Incluso les voy a desvelar un pequeño secreto que tenemos para esta jornada en la que vamos a conectar también con el torneo Conde de Godó. Pero eso se lo cuento después. Tenemos todo este menú por delante en las próximas horas. Hasta las 2:30 de la tarde les vamos a acompañar. Me van a permitir también que dé la bienvenida, como siempre, a los suscriptores del Español que nos están viendo a través del streaming que estamos emitiendo en El Español, en Invertia y en Disruptores. Y comenzamos la jornada, la inauguración, como cada Wake Up, en estas 6 ediciones de la mano del secretario general de la OCDE, de Mathias Cormann, que como siempre nos deja este vídeo en el que habla de la situación del mundo y de España.
Distinguished guests, colleagues, friends all, thank you very much for the invitation to share some observations on Europe's and Spain's labour markets and the impact of population ageing at this, the 6th Wake Up Spain Symposium. The evolving conflict in the Middle East, as we're meeting, and associated energy disruptions are testing the resilience of our economies. We are already seeing the impacts in key economic indicators. So, for example, consumer confidence in the euro area fell significantly in March. Our interim economic outlook released last month projects growth for the euro area to decline from 1.4% last year to 0.8% this year, and then to recover to 1.2% next year. While the energy shock is impacting Spain, we expect Spain's economy to continue to outpace that of the euro area, with growth of 2.1% this year and 1.7% next year, after growth of 2.8% last year. In a complex global environment, the labour market has been a key driver of the Spanish economy's resilience. The employment rate rose to 67% in the third quarter of last year, which is the highest rate of employment for Spain since 1999, which is as far as our data goes back, though still below the employment rates of 70% for the OECD and 71% for the OECD on average, but Spain is very much trending in the right direction and getting very close to the average. Spain's unemployment rate also continued to decline to 9.8% in February this year. But, we are pointing to opportunities for Spain to further reduce its unemployment rate towards the OECD average of 5% and the EU average of 5.9%. Key policy priorities for Spain is to continue to boost jobs and incomes, include unlocking a stronger business dynamism by facilitating firm entry and reducing administrative burdens on firms, improving job search assistance by regional employment offices through targeted staff training and digital profiling of job seekers, and by enhancing opportunities for skills development, including to help workers to use AI. Increasing life expectancy and lower birth rates are putting pressure on labour markets everywhere, while leading to a significant increase in the old age dependency ratios. Across OECD countries in 2000, there were 22 adults aged 65 and over for every 100 people of working age. Today in 2026, that number has already increased to 34 out of every 100. And by 2050, that number will have increased even further to 52 out of every 100. Spain's old age dependency ratio has risen from 27 in the year 2000 to 37 this year, and is estimated to increase to 74 by 2050. That is 74 people over the age of 65 for every person of working age. And that will be the fourth highest among OECD countries after Korea, Japan, and Italy, which means that by 2050, the number of Spanish adults aged 65 and over is expected to be equivalent to almost 3/4 of the working age population. The economic, social, and fiscal impacts are significant. Last year's OECD Employment Outlook estimated that under current policy settings, the fall in employment as a result of population aging would reduce Spain's per capita GDP growth by 0.1% between 2024 and 2060, down from 0.5% between 2006 and 2019. We see three key policy priorities for Spain to address the impacts of population aging. Firstly, expanding training tailored towards the needs of older workers. The share of workers aged 55 to 65 years who participate in training at 27% is significantly lower than in the average OECD country at 32%. Upskilling and reskilling of older workers could be supported by individual training vouchers focused on sectors impacted by labor shortages or new technologies. Second, strengthening work incentives of older workers by reforming the unemployment insurance and unemployment assistance systems. About 70% of beneficiaries of unemployment assistance are 50 years or older, with many effectively transitioning into retirement. A comprehensive reform should bring the level and duration of unemployment benefits for older workers in line with those of other workers to address disincentives to work, and restrict pension accrual for unemployed workers to the 2 years when they are on unemployment insurance only, rather than continuing accrual when they are on longer term unemployment assistance. Third, drawing on other untapped labor potential, including migrants, women, and young people. For example, Spain is a key immigration destination, with the foreign-born making up 18% of the population. Yet 52% of foreign-born workers with higher education are employed in low or medium-skilled jobs. Accelerating the recognition of foreign qualifications through clearer procedures, strict timelines, and more administrative capacity would help enhance the labor market integration of migrant workers and hence would boost productivity and growth. In closing, the Spanish labor markets have continued to show resilience to shocks, with employment an important driver of growth. However, our economies are facing key challenges, including the economic, social, and fiscal impacts of population aging, while in the short term also dealing with external shocks, including the evolving conflicts in the Middle East. The OECD will continue to support countries in identifying the right policy responses based on our latest data, evidence, and economic analysis. My best wishes for positive, productive, and successful discussions at this forum, on this final day, at this symposium. Thank you very much.
Pues muchísimas gracias también al secretario general de la OCDE, como siempre, por estos comentarios que nos hace sobre el mercado laboral global y sobre todo sobre el mercado laboral español, y por las recomendaciones que ha lanzado de lo que debe hacer nuestro país. Y precisamente de talento, de empleabilidad, de formación vamos a hablar en nuestra próxima mesa redonda con la que inauguramos esta jornada.